In the last episode, we managed to beat Wimbledon in the game in hand to open a 4-point gap at the top of the table. But then we only managed to draw against Doncaster at home and close the gap to just 2 points. Played one game since then. What's been happening? And can we get 2 wins today away at Crewe and at home to Tranmere to open a gap again at the top of the table? Hello and welcome to episode 76 of From the Bottom to the Top, as we try and take a National League South side, in this case Weymouth, from the bottom all the way up to the top. And this is our journey. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have for you, as mentioned, 2 games. We're away to Crewe in League 2 Matchday 35, and then it's home to Tranmere in Matchday 36. 10 games then away from the end of the season, and it's all going to be a very tight race. We've not opened a gap up at the top of the table or anything remotely like it, and our form continues to be somewhat iffy at best. And to say I'm not happy is an underestimate, really. But who knows? Things might just turn the corner, and could this be the episode where they do turn the corner? Let's keep our fingers crossed, shall we? If you do enjoy today's episode, though, remember, please leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button, and leave me a comment. It all helps me here on YouTube. And thank you very much to all those who have subscribed recently. I hope you continue to enjoy this series and future series and other stuff that we put out on the channel. Don't forget, you can follow everything that we're doing here on the channel by following me on X at JustOffsideFM, and look out for a shirt unveiling. We've got 2 more shirts from China, and we'll be unveiling those in a video. I think it's coming out tomorrow, so look out for that one. And a bit more information on shirts. If you're thinking about buying cheap shirts from China, then it's all about that, so look out for it. As I say, should hopefully be out tomorrow. Right, let's get into it then. We have, as I said, 2 games to play. We've played 1 game since you were last with us. It was a game against Bradford City. If you remember, our form against Bradford, we'd only managed to beat them once. That was the Bob Lucus earlier in the season. Of course, lost to them in the EFL Trophy quarter-final by 2-1. Abdul Malik scoring on that occasion in injury time. But in this one, we have managed to get a draw at Bradford, which is a better result than we have done previously against Bradford, but still unable to beat them, which is rather annoying. But this is how it went in this one. The opening goal came from Oliver Samuels. Nothing in it. It was deadpan. In fact, had no highlights in the first half. Nothing. And then on 48 minutes, Oliver Samuels got to the lead for Bradford City. Corner from Duncan, and for the second game in a row, we concede a goal from a corner. What are we doing? As I said, we haven't done that a lot, and then all of a sudden, I don't know whether it's because on that side, is it? Yeah, is it that side? Yeah, it is that side. I wonder if it's because of Howes. Is Howes short? We'll need to check that out in a minute. Where is Howes? I'm wondering if that's Howes. I mean, he's 6 foot and his heading's good, so that doesn't quite marry up. I thought he perhaps would be about 5'10", 5'9", something like that. Maybe a shorty on that side is causing what was the problem. But hey, so we were a goal down after 48. And it looked like the Bradford City hoodoo was going to continue. And it looked like it pretty much into injury time as well. And there was 5 minutes of added time. And somehow or other, 6 minutes into injury time, Amika Peters, who come on as a substitute on 67 minutes, managed to get us an equaliser. Silcott Dewberry thrown into Braley. Pennington back to Braley, and Peters was there from the pass from Braley to snap that one into the back of the net. Got us an equaliser. Too late for Bradford to get anything else out of that game. In fact, we were quite dominant towards the end of that half, but just couldn't, until that point, couldn't find our way through. But Amika Peters did pick up a player of the match for that. One key pass, one clear-cut chance created, and a goal, an 8.1. And we haven't seen any 8.1s for a little while. Nobody else really performing apart from Ethan Braley. I think mainly because of that assist. Although he did have a key pass and a clear-cut chance to boot. 11 shots, 4 on target, 1.07 on the XG, 53% of the possession. We were at their place, don't forget. They had 9 shots, 4 on target, 0.97 and 47% of the possession. As I say, still not been able to find a way through and score goals. We seem to have a bit of a sort of like dead thing going on at the moment to score goals. And the quicker we snap out of that, the better. I'd like to go back to some of our winning ways and big score lines. 3 or 4 goals would be very nice. But having said all of that, we haven't lost in 5, drawn 3, won 2. I would have preferred it the other way around at the very minimum. But this is how it looks going into today's episode. Everybody played 34. In fact, Bradford City had played 35. They did play in midweek, which we hoped would cool them down a little bit, but doesn't seem to have done so. Having said that, they had 1-5 on the trot going into that match that we drew against them. So we are still top, still 2 points clear, but we're 2 points clear of Accrington Stanley now, and 3 points clear of Wigan in 3rd place. Shrewsbury are in 4th on 62. I think we play them in the next episode, actually, having a quick look at my notes. They're on 62 points, so we are 9 points clear of them. Gillingham are in 5th on 61. Wickham are 6th on 60 on goal difference, and they have superior goal difference over Bradford City, also on 60 points. Wimbledon just outside of those playoff places on 54 points. 6 points adrift of Bradford City. Northampton still on the bottom, and Morecambe have dropped into that bottom run now. On 29 points, 2 points adrift of Swindon Town on 31, and then Newport County are 21st on 32. That's how it is all staged up. Can have a quick look at the last round of results, if we just have a look at that, because I think it's quite important just to very quickly pick up on Wigan losing 2-0 to Harrogate Town, which is how that gap opened up a little bit there, and a win would have been splendid, but Accrington Stanley going very, very well. A 4-1 win against Northampton, bottom of the table Northampton. That's the sort of wins that I want to be having, but we're not being able to do that at the moment. Right, a quick look at the medical centre, nothing there. Silcott Dewberry is coming back from a bruised foot. Lorenzo Jones, he's about the team. Come back, of course, off loan as he was earlier in the season. Right. First up then, it's a trip to the Mornflake Stadium for this one. They are without Reece Moore, who's got a twisted ankle. Jebson is unregistered, and Lafondra is unregistered. So they're both trialists. So we have a full squad to pick from. Can we go and get a result at Crewe? Last time we played them, we beat them 2-0 at the Bob Lucas. The score on that occasion was Wakachu on 26 minutes from the penalty spot, and Amika Peters on 62. Let's have a look at the team that faces them today. And this is the team that faces Crewe in this League 2 match day 35. Hollingshead continues in goal. Howells, Piddington and Olsen are defensive line today. Pennington chosen in place of Armitage. We'll see how that goes. Armitage is on the bench, though. Linton comes in place of Candlish, who had a poor game last time on the left side of the complete wing-back. Holman is playing on the right because of that injury to Silcott Dewberry, who isn't in the matchday squad today. Byron and Braley are between them two. Abdul Malik gets a start out on the left, and we can't seem to find a regular starter on that left side. And obviously, our loanee that we had in that side, Patterson, of course, we're missing him somewhat. Was finding a bit of form on that left, and Abdul Malik gets a chance to do it today. James Jones is out on the right, and Amika Peters, who came on and went up front last time out, gets a start, a rare start up front. He's only started 9 games this season, most of them out on the wing. So 9 games, he's 17 off of the bench. He has scored 7 goals. His opportunity today to go out there and show what he's made of and make that starting spot his own. On the bench, House, Armitage, Davis, Gaspar, Darcy, Whittingham and Wakachu. I'd like to think that's quite a strong bench. And here we are at Crewe. They are playing a flat back 3 today. And 2 wing backs. Very similar formation to us, except they're not so wide up front. So should be interesting. We are first on 71. Crewe are 10th on 52 points. And we do have a highlight inside the first minute. Crewe are on the ball. Lozano, Monroe, O'Hara. Sounds like something from Star Trek. Taylor. Hardy. Through the forward. Falls into space, but he's pumped it over the top. In fact, Hollinshead got fingers to it and pushed it over the top. Right, a corner. This time from the other side. Swung in. Ooh, and Hollinshead saves us again. And nearly the 3rd time in a row, we suffered from a corner. This one is headed clear, and Abdul Malik will get to it. Are we going to break out here? I'd like to think so. Abdul Malik going down this wing. Abdul Malik, and he's been pulled down by Taylor. And double save. This one from Ford. 18 minutes on the clock. Another throw in. Sorry, another corner. Lozano swings it in. Pennington's underneath it. Hardy, and it's blocked. But it's back in there, and they've scored. Des Ford. It fell nicely for him. And on 19 minutes, they take the lead. And our form still is wayward. Well blocked by Howes, but come back in, and Ford curled that one into the top corner. 34 minutes on the clock. Pennington with a free kick, but we've given it away, and they're breaking out, and we're outnumbered. Braley wins that ball. Linton, Pennington, and that was well won by Linton. Howes, Linton, Byron, back to Linton, Howes, Pennington. Can something come of this? I don't know. Holman. Jones goes back to Olsen. Olsen. Holman. Holman finds his run through. Peters is going to get there. And Peters puts it away. Peters, his 8th goal of the season. And on 35, we have equalised. And we've got back to them. It was a very, very sort of gentle build-up. That one through to Peters. Peters was sort of like tripped, but managed to recover and get it past Booth in the Crewe goal. Well, no more highlights in that first half, but we've managed to pull it back level again. And now we need to go forward in this game. Mika Peters doing what I put him on to do, but we've been very poor. We've only had 3 shots, just the one on target, 0.43. But we have had 61% of the possession. They've had 7 shots, 3 of which have been on target. And as we know, Hollingshead have saved 2 of them, 0.74 and 39% of the possession. I'd like to see better in the second half, to be fair. And Hollingshead making another save just as you join us. They've made 3 changes at half time. 49 minutes on the clock. Downing, I think one of those changes. He's swung this ball in deep to the back post. It's not headed clear though. Jones does get that one clear as far as forward, but Downing has stayed up. Downing has a go! Oh, and it's headed over the top by Hardy. And this was the tip, I think, over the... Oh, no, it wasn't the tip over the top. Downing. And Hardy just over. Olsen with a free kick. 57 on the clock. Out to Howes. Abdul Malik. Howes. Linton. Linton has to come back. He's gone all the way back to Hollingshead. Pinnington. Hollingshead. Howes. Howes now comes forward. He's got it through to Linton. Linton back to Howes. Howes, Byron. Byron looking for Peters. Didn't find him, but he's got it back. Holman. And we're going to try down this wing now, but Holman doing nothing with that. And Downing just comes in and sneaks the ball from him. Hopefully this isn't going the way I think it might be going. Hardy. And they're coming forward in numbers and full. Well offside. He's got to be offside. The flag's gone up. And that won't stand. That will not stand. Release that ball very late. And with 60 minutes on the clock, making 2 changes, we have taken off Abdul Malik, who got the opportunity to start. He's not done very well out there. Matt Whittingham comes on for him. And in midfield, we've taken off Jordan Byron and brought on Luigi Gaspar. And with 81 minutes on the clock, we're making one more change. Josiah Linton is off. Whittingham has dropped back into that complete wing back on the left side. And then what we've done is Jones and Darcy have moved into more of a attacking, central attacking midfield behind Peters up front. And as we go, looking to see if we can get this goal. Howes with this ball. Braley. We are in the 5th minute of added time. Darcy going out wide to Whittingham. Whittingham crosses this ball in and Booth punches it. Howes picks it up in midfield though. Holman, it's still alive. Can he get this ball in? He's been pulled down. It's a penalty. It was inside the area. I'm not sure it was. But it's a penalty. Darcy to take it. Can we sneak it from under their noses? We will see. Darcy send the goalkeeper the wrong way. Oh my goodness me. His 11th goal of the season from Ronan Darcy. And well. Lovely ball in. And we have snuck a win against everything else. I mean, the stats really weren't in our favour at all. Up until then, I think it was 7-1. Absolutely ridiculous. Just not had a chance. But we really, right in that death, giving them all sorts of problems. And somebody pulled Holman down. Well, just as I thought he was going to put a cross in. And well, there you go. Such is life. Yes. Well, what can I say? I think Hollingshead kept us in the game in the early exchanges. Yeah, I'm almost lost for words. 9 shots, 3 on target, 1.69 and 54% of the possession. Crewe had 10 shots, 5 on target, 0.92 and 46% of the possession. I suppose we've won a game that we shouldn't have won, whereas we've lost games or drawn games that we should have won. Well, it's just well we won because Accrington Stanley have beaten Cambridge United by 1-0, which means that had we lost today or even drawn come to that, we would have been on equal points. We'd have just been ahead of them on goal difference, which is a bit disappointing. But as it stands, we have won and kept that gap at the top to 2 points. It is now 5 points over Wigan, who only managed a draw against Stevenage, down to 10 men after 47 minutes in that game, which didn't help them in the slightest. Gillingham move up to 4th. They had a 3-1 win over Forest Green today. They are on 64 points. So we're 10 points clear of the nearest side in the playoff positions. And then comes Shrewsbury, who we play in, as I say, in the next episode. They managed a 1-1 draw with Newport County today. Then Wickham are 6th on 61. Bradford City are 7th on 60 points. They lost 3-1 at home to Grimsby Town. Why couldn't we do that to them? I really don't know, because they're a bogey side. Wimbledon, outside the playoffs, are in 8th place on 57 points. So we're 17 points clear of them as it currently stands. And Northampton, where are you? I've lost you. There they go. 1-1 draw with Morecambe today. The two sides in that bottom. 14 points for Northampton. 30 points. Still 2 points adrift of Swindon Town. Morecambe. So those two sides are playing a battle at the bottom of the table there and can't separate themselves even when they play one another. So there we go. Right, 3 days down to the gate against Tranmere. We're back at the Bob Lucus for this one, and I'd like to think that we could possibly pick up a result. Who knows? We'll come back just ahead of that game with any news for you. So you come back just ahead of the game against Tranmere. Nothing really to report. We do have an offer. I've had an offer in for Jaden Wareham, trying to negotiate that for him to go out on loan for the rest of the season. But Tranmere are our opponents today. Last time out, we drew 1-1 with them. Travis Patterson, the scorer on that occasion, but 2 minutes later, so either side of half-time, basically, Travis Patterson give us the lead at half-time, and then straight after half-time, John Patrick got them back level, and that's pretty much how it stayed. So an improvement on that today would be much better. We've got a full team to pick from. They have a couple of players out. Luke McGee out with concussion. Jack Barrett out with hernia. Let's have a look at the team that faces Tranmere. And this is the team that faces Tranmere in this Sky Bet League 2 Matchday 36. Hollingshead continues in goal. Howes, Armitage and Olsen. Our defensive line, Linton and Silcott Dewberry, are the complete wing-backs. Pinnington and Gaspar between them. Abdul Malik gets a second start out on the left, although he wasn't convincing last time out. Darcy starts on the right. Peters continues his start up front. And we do have the option to go possibly to two central mids if we want to go that way, should the game pan out in the way that it did in the last match. But we are at home today, so I'd like to think that we would be all right. We did have a lot of greens down here at one point, and they all seem to have disappeared. On the bench, though, today, House, Ransom, Davis, Petit, Jones, Whittingham, and Wakachu. Here we are back at the Bob Lucas, playing our familiar formation. And Tranmere match us up today. Exactly the same formation. And it's going to be a battle of wits. We are top on 74. Tranmere 14th on 42. Tranmere playing in all white today. And that ball cut out by Silcott Dewberry. 12 minutes on the clock. Inside to Olsen. Olsen to Armitage. Armitage finds Pinnington. Pinnington playing in midfield today. Gasper through to Peters. Peters! Oh, he swung at that and over the top. Free kick. Darcy with the free kick swung in. Oh! Olsen on target. Longwick has a free kick to Pennington. Back to Jones. Longwick. Out wide to Lawrence. Lawrence out on his own. Nobody marking him out there, and it's crossed in. Olsen heads it on. It's gone. Oh, it's not gone out anywhere. That was a bit of a strange manoeuvre. Pennington, Abdel Malik. Darcy, we counter-attack now. Peters finds Abdul Malik, but he's tackled in the ball. It was a bit close, especially with the attendance on him. And it's gone out wide. Samuel Smith. He's end-to-end stuff. Oh, he's gone round him. It's crossed in. McNally gets the header and it's cleared, but not convincingly. Ball out. And tackle there coming in. Armitage, and left the ball in the end. And it runs through the house. Pennington, I'm not sure what that was, just come up. Oh, he's picked up an injury. Abdul Malik. Peters through. Peters. I thought he was going to cross that in then. Linton. Pennington has a shot. And it's gone over. Hollingshead with a goal kick. 43 minutes on the clock. Olsen. To Pennington. Olsen. Silcott Dubry finds Peters. Playing it a 1-2 with Darcy. Back to Peters to Pennington. Abdul Malik. Armitage. Howes. Finds a way through. Linton. Can Linton get a ball in? Linton. He's crossed it in. It's gone in. Luigi Gaspar. But it's a question of offside, I think. And we're not taking the lead as we thought. Gaspar just went. Well, in the last match, where the other side had a bit of a controversial offside, and that one's pretty much the same. Not sure whether it was actually Darcy that was offside and not Gaspar. Darcy sort of offside and then back on again. But I think he was offside when the ball was played in. There we go. As it stands, 9 shots, 4 on target. We're doing quite well. On target more than we've had just recently. 1.05, 63% of the possession. They've had 3 shots, nothing on target to date. 0.16 and 37% of the possession. If we carry on like that in the second half, I would like to think that we could go out and win this game. And due to that injury to Carter Pennington, we don't want to make that any worse than it is. Hopefully it'll just be a small knock and he'll only be out for a short period of time. He's picked up that knock. We've taken him off as a precaution. Harry Ransom replaces him in midfield. He's 6 on the clock. And that out to Armitage. I think it was Howes that passed it out to Armitage. Armitage finds Gaspar. Darcy creates a bit of space. He's got Silcott Dubry in there. Back to Olsen. Abdul Malik. He's missed the... And with 81 minutes on the clock, we're making a series of changes. A lot of players are tired. But I'm actually just wondering whether we have made the right decision here, actually. I think we are limited in what we can actually do. We have got an injury to Colin Howes, so Colin Howes has got to come off. We've replaced him. Ransom has dropped into the back line. Olsen and alongside Olsen and Armitage. Petit coming in then for Howes. Ronan Darcy is off, and we have brought on Sonny Davis in that complete wing-back position. Josiah Linton is off. Whittingham has come on for him. We've moved Silcott Dubry forward, albeit he's very tired. And we've taken Amika Peters off and brought on Wakachu up front. But we're having trouble finding a way through once again. They have a corner. Patrick with a corner. It's swung in. Oh, and a overhead kick. Hollingshead collects. And once again, we've drawn a blank. We can't find a way through. And, well, I despair as to what we're doing. Will Armitage with the player of the match on a 7.5. Again, says it all. Hollingshead having a good day in goal. But we're just not finding a way through. We've got nobody scoring goals on a regular basis. And we're not consistent where we were ramming them home. We're not doing it. We're hanging on in there. But that is about it. And we win a game and then draw a couple. And it's just, I don't know. I really don't know what the answer is. 15 shots, 5 on target. I think we had 4 in the first half, so we had 1 shot on target in that second half. A 1.63 and 59% of the possession. XG-wise and possession-wise, we should be winning these games. 9 shots, 2 on target, 0.72 and 41% of the possession for them. They matched us up and they kept us at bay. Well, the 2 players that were injured, Colin Howes, he's only going to be out for a couple of days with a bruised knee, and Pennington out with a bruised ankle for the same amount of time. That is good news. And we come back with a roundup of the scores. First of all, the Tuesday matches. Crewe and Crawley 2-2. Forest Green beating Northampton by a goal to nil. Northampton well adrift at the bottom there now. Grimsby 1, Newport 0. Sutton 1, Gillingham 2. Gillingham are in 4th place and pushing hard to Wigan, who are in 3rd place. They have a game in hand, I notice. 0-0, of course, against Tranmere. So 2 draws. This is the scores from the Wednesday games. And, well, Wimbledon beat Bradford 4-2. Bradford drop out of the playoff places and they'll be kicking themselves at the moment. Not going well. Despite beating, get the result against us, of course. Doncaster beating Harrogate by a goal to nil. Halifax 3, Accrington 1. Accrington took the lead after a minute. Halifax Town did get back at them. Well done, Halifax. And that does mean that we finished the episode 3 points clear at the top of the table from Accrington Stanley, albeit Wigan, if they were to win their game in hand, could be overtake Accrington Stanley on goal difference, but it still would be 3 points. That is the good news. When do they play? Not sure when they play their game in hand, so we'll have to watch out for that one. But it does mean that we have extended our lead at the top by default and not by anything that we've done. That gap could have been vastly bigger. Had we won today, we'd have added an extra 2 points. That would have been 77 points, been 5 points clear of Accrington Stanley and potentially Wigan with that game in hand, and that would have been very, very nice indeed, but we've not managed to do that. Swindon doing their job at the bottom of the table, very, very good. 5 points clear of the drop zone now with a 3-1 win over Stevenage. Wycombe beating Shrewsbury, who we will meet in the next episode. Talking about the next episode, we're going to play Cheltenham offline. Cheltenham currently in 17th place. I'd like to think that we could play them. We played them earlier in the season. In fact, we played them 3 times. FA Cup first round and replay back in 2024. A 2-2 draw and a 5-1 win at their place. We like playing at their place. A 3-1 win at their place earlier in the season in League 2. We're at the Bob Lucas for this one. Like to think we could get a result, but our form at home has gone somewhat out the window. The old form's gone out the window, not just at home. So we'll play Cheltenham offline. We're going to come back for Northampton, currently bottom of the table, of course. And you'd like to think we would get a win there, albeit it is at Sixfields. And then we play Shrewsbury at the Crowd Meadow in our second game. Both games away from home next time out. But, as I said, our away form actually is probably a little bit better at the minute than our home form. So nothing to be given there. And then we're going to come back for Wigan and Accrington Stanley, the 2 teams immediately below us. And that's going to be one heck of an episode as we head into the final 5 games of the season. And we'll find out by the time we get there what likelihood we have of A, getting promoted, and B, clinching the title. And I hope you're going to enjoy, you're going to join me for those episodes. They are coming up in the very near future. Please join me for that. If you've enjoyed today's episode, leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button. It keeps you up to date with all future episodes of Bottom to the Top and our other series, Going Dutch. And leave me a comment, let me know what you think of the series, and so on and so forth. And don't forget, everything that goes on here is available to you by hitting that notification button. New episodes of Bottom to the Top released every Tuesday and Friday at 4:15 p.m. and the best way of keeping up to date with everything, so you know when it's coming up, is to follow me on X at JustOffsideFM. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you for the next episode. Episode 77's out on Friday. Until then, it's goodbye.